All right, today we got episode 2 of the Performance Pod. We got Austin Beard on here. How you doing, bro?
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
Yes, sir. So let's give a little intro to Beard to show how much of a dude he is first. So we'll go Austin Beard, pitcher from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, D1 pitcher at Monmouth University now. So getting into, we both went to Northampton Community College, and that's where we met. I was a sophomore when you were a freshman. So getting into your freshman year, 31.1 innings, 31 Ks with a 4.02 ERA, and we go 32 and 15 as a squad. Really good freshman year. Like, you were our closer type beat. Like, you came in when we needed that. But really, where he became a dude is sophomore year. This dude goes captain of the team, 44 and 10 program. You guys were first in the country for, I want to say, a couple weeks. I know when I played there, the highest we ever got was like third or fifth. So you boys topped that. 71 innings pitched, 104 strikeouts, which is insane. A 3.8 ERA, 13.18 Ks per nine, and a 10-1 record. So to top all that off, first team All Region, first team All American, and Region 19 Pitcher of the Year, Austin Beard. So what's like a normal day in the life at Monmouth? Talking, baseball to school, morning to night.
Yeah. So depending on the day, we usually have morning lifts start at like 7 a.m. So on those days we're getting up like 5:30, getting a shower, getting ready. I try to get myself a coffee in the morning, try to stay away from the energy drinks just because coffee is more natural. You're not going to get as much stuff that's really going to kill your energy throughout the day. Like all those energy drinks are like the quick caffeine boost, but they like end up doing worse for you in the long run. So try to stick to coffee, try to get like some sort of protein in before the lift, carb up, get ready. Then I'll head over to the school, have that lift, go to your classes throughout the day. Depending on the time of the fall, whether it be in like team practice or indie practice, that's usually a couple hours in the afternoon, depending on what part of the fall we're at. And then you may have some night classes, but other than that, just trying to get some homework done throughout the day, trying to stay on top of your stuff. Student athlete, you're not just an athlete. So you got to like make sure you're balancing your time. So you're just getting everything done. It's a lot better on your mental health when like you have a set schedule. And it just allows you to be better at baseball because like you're not going to be stressing about everything.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I think I kind of, this might be the first year I've really stuck to it, but like kind of getting like that schedule, bro. Like, all right, I'm gonna do this today, no matter how I feel about it. But like, I'm gonna sit down and do an hour of homework because like we have our schoolwork, and that's a major part of it. That's why we're here. So I think like finding times and setting times for those things is huge. To then be like, all right, I'm at baseball now, and we're gonna focus on baseball, and we're not gonna worry about the 5-page paper I have due. But if you push that off until Sunday night and you're at practice on Sunday and you're like, bro, I got to get done and write this 5-page paper, you're not fully locked into baseball. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, like,
exactly.
it's a real thing of like, bro, schedule your time out. And if you time manage yourself as that like college baseball player, it makes it so much easier for yourself and it makes you enjoy it more. It makes you enjoy the school part and it makes you enjoy baseball even more.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody likes doing that homework and like studying for exams, but it's part of the process. You got to get it done. It's just gonna be a lot better in the long run if you just get it out of the way.
Exactly, bro. 100%. So moving on with that, you hit on a little bit of the team lift action. We're gonna talk, what's the weight room training like? So like kind of in depth of what you do, what days you do it, how many days, and just a little talk about that.
Yeah. So we're 3 days a week at the moment. We've been all fall. The start of the fall was more of a focus on like kind of maintain maintenance and like explosive stuff. So like you're coming in, like you have your full season. You're not in the off season in the fall because you still gotta go through all those team practices, inter squads. You're playing some other teams. Like we played Gloucester in the fall, so like you got to be game ready in the fall. Yeah. Region 19 rivals.
Gloucester
So
in
yeah,
the
we played
fall.
them. Yeah. So it's like it's more in the start of the fall. You're still trying to stay explosive. You're trying to maintain everything you build up over the summer. And then when our games shut down for the fall, that's when we get into like our real like ramp up period. We're hitting the weight room hard, trying to move weight fast, just trying to get as much strength as possible. So like Our
Mhm.
Mondays typically everything's mostly full body, but we'll do like a dynamic warm up before a lot of like sprint and jump based stuff, just getting the bodies loose, so you can move that weight quick. Uh, but it's a lot of single leg focused stuff for us pitchers, just trying to build up so you can get into those extreme positions, like unlock that velocity. Um, and then we're also hitting some upper body stuff. Not a lot of overhead, just trying to stay away from stuff like that because it can sometimes do more
Mhm.
harm than good. But yeah, really hitting like full body 3 days. Obviously it's a lot more scientifically spaced out than I'm explaining, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
workouts.
So, kind of to go, you guys gotta run a high-low system, so you're probably going Monday, Wednesday, Friday, full bodies, Tuesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, more of a recovery type, getting the body moving, less stress in the body. On those Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, what are your guys' like main lifts? What they might be? I know that's like a big question I get asked of like main lifts. As a Division One program, as a pitcher, what are these main lifts that you guys are doing?
Yeah. Yeah. So and the start of the fall we were like pretty heavy back squat. Um
Mhm.
I guess more more like higher reps, but we're still like trying to hit the weights hard. And
Yep.
then as we eased in like the middle of the fall where like we're no longer trying to like maintain stuff, that's when we're doing like our front squats. Pitchers are doing incline barbell bench, so we're trying to stay away from just like the standard flat barbell bench. And then the Wednesday Fridays just like split squat and lunge variations, just trying to build
Nice.
up those legs. Yeah.
Um, I guess we're talking main lift. Maybe what are your guys' some of like the accessory lifts that you do, like the smaller things of that you guys incorporate?
Yeah, so it's a lot of I can't tell you any like specifically just off the top of my
That's
head,
all
but
right.
it's a lot of just like getting like those micro muscles like in your shoulders and stuff like that and your legs. So like you're building up like the muscles that are supporting your major muscles that you're gonna use for like baseball related stuff.
Yeah, so you guys like your position players and your pitchers are separate in lifts, or do you guys lift together and just do different lifts?
Yeah, so we're all at the same time. It's really good for camaraderie. Like
Yeah.
we got all 40 some guys in there just getting after it at the same time. But yeah, we're doing different lifts. So pitchers are like it's mostly the same, but like where things need to be isolated, that's where like things go separate. So like while they're doing like flat barbell bench, that's where we're doing our incline. And just stuff like that. Like it's slightly uh varied just like based off like specific needs.
Yeah, sweet. You answered that good, and I like how you talked in the beginning, how you guys kinda like you're working hard in the summer to get to your fall ball, so, like, they don't wanna come in and hammer you guys, they kinda ramp you up, you're playing games, and you guys play I mean, I don't know how many games you play, but in the fall, you play a decent amount of games, and it's kinda like a mini season and what you can call it. So I think what they like, maintaining and then getting into heavy, "Okay, we're done with games, we're heavy, we're off season," and that's when we get after it, so that's sick that you guys have it like that. So next, we're gonna hop into kind of like what your pitching mindset is. I know when I got the opportunity to play with you when you were the freshman, I was a sophomore. I was like really impressed with like you want the ball, bro. Like we would, that closer role, you have to want the ball. Like it's not you're not starting the game, and you're getting pulled in whatever the seventh inning. Like you're coming in that late game that year I played with you, and you're like you were a dog when you came out. You wanted the ball, and I think that's a big part in like mindset and pitching. Like you gotta want it and you gotta go out there and I'm the dude. I want to beat this guy. So kind of talk like a little bit what your mindset is and yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, my mindset always has been like when I'm attacking a hitter, it's like just get ahead right away. Whether that's off speed or fastball, I've always been like more of an off speed guy, or like I'm gonna get ahead with that first pitch slider, first pitch curveball, first pitch changeup. They're just sitting on that fastball. They're not like really expecting someone to just break something off right away. So I'm just trying to get ahead 0-1, and it just really puts the odds in your favor. But like get more in the mindset side. Like I just like when you go out there on the mound, like you got to think you're the best player on that field. If you think that someone else is better than you or someone has a shot of beating you, you're gonna get beat. I mean, like the greatest players. This is said all the time. It's so cliche, but the greatest players are getting hits 3 out of 10 times. 7 out of 10 times, I'm going to succeed, and I'm going to make it better than 7 out of 10 because I know that I'm going to beat that guy every single time I go out on the hill. So I'm just like I'm constantly telling myself that I'm gonna execute this pitch. It's positive self talk. Like you got to tell yourself that you're gonna do these things. It's oh I hope I do this thing. That's never gonna work. You got to tell
Yeah.
yourself that it's gonna happen. That it's gonna happen. I'm honing in on that spot, and my goal is not just to get this guy out. It's almost to embarrass him. Like I don't want him. I don't want him to think he has a shot against me. Like I'm trying to make him look worse.
Yeah.
You gotta want the ball in those situations. I mean, my goal is always just go out there and like compete. Like I wanna win. Like I think like pitching's fun, but like it's more the mindset of like I wanna win, and like this is like a good route for me to like win because I can just pitch.
Yeah, bro. I think that's switching to like, 3 out of 10 times Hall of Famer type, everyone says that, but switching to like 7 out of 10 times I'm winning. And I'm gonna try to make that 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, or whatever that may be, like 9 out of 10. Like I'm the
Yeah.
dude that wants to do that. So that's sick. And you talking early in the count, break in the off speed. The slider's unreal. I know you murdered me with the backdoor slider when I think you had my number. I don't remember. I think I faced you probably like at least a handful of times, and I don't vividly remember ever being like, "Yeah, I barreled Beardsy up." Um,
Yeah, I honestly don't remember either, but yeah, obviously your guy always wanted to get out.
but no, I know we used to always talk a little trash, which is the best part about inner squads, bro. Like we were talking about earlier off camera, like having the dudes that like actually want it, or then like the dudes that like talk the trash in inner squads, and like not trash towards like, but like after, like yeah, I got you, bro, or this or that. Like it's just fun, like banter, and I think it makes like the team camaraderie better. And I think at Northampton we had that like perfect to a T, where like you could bust guys, but then like Coach Yags was really good about being like, all right, we're here. It's not that anymore. But as soon as you like leave or walk in, like it's time to talk that
Yeah.
talk, and they gotta know like I owned you today, bro, or yo, you got me today, and that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it's also like you're talking that trash, but like it's a good learning moment for like both guys because like if I got you on something, then like if I can see something in your swing, then I'll recognize on someone else's swing down the line, like knowing what is gonna be like successful, and even like if say for you, like you're like we're talking afterwards, and you're like, oh, what was your idea behind pitch sequencing? And if you see something that I'm doing, someone else might do that down the line too. So it's gonna give you that advantage just like having that like relationship with your teammates and being extra competitive.
Yeah, I like that. And I mean, I'm a infielder. I don't pitch, but I do know like playing behind you and obviously me facing you, I've faced you a handful of times. Like you would sequence really well. So like where we were talking slider and like you would come at me with a slider that first AB, and I'm like second AB, I don't know what's coming because you were just so good at like creating the realm of like chaos in somebody's head in the box, being like he might come with a curveball, which sometimes it's a 12-6, or he might come with a backdoor slider. He might throw a first strike away, or maybe he's just gonna throw one down the middle and make you work like go at me, come at me, and that's the part of just being a competitor. But I think you were really good at sequencing, and I think that's what gave you success. And I wish I didn't see much like video wise of your sophomore season, but like I'm guessing you did that. And we're gonna hit on the sophomore season a little bit more down the line because like you had a year, bro, like and it was sick.
I
Um
appreciate that.
so now we're going back to the outings part of what we were saying. You have I think it's 5 consecutive outings, and I was like, bro, like you have 10 Ks, 7 Ks, 10 Ks, 11 Ks, 13 Ks. Like mid-season, you were just like dominant, dude. Like no one could touch you. And obviously, like here and there, things happen. But like I guess kind of talk like what were you doing mid-season? I mean, the whole season, bro. You're an All-American, you're All-Region pitcher, you're pitcher of the year. So obviously the whole year you were, getting after it. But like I guess kind of talk like what made you so successful like that sophomore year.
Yeah, so I think part of it is just like I'm going into the season. I'm knowing that I'm committed. So like that like just takes like a lot of weight off my shoulders. And then I go in, I kind of have like I wouldn't say a rough start, but it wasn't my ideal start. Just didn't do like what I wanted to my first two starts of the year. I had a decent relief appearance, and then coming back from Myrtle Beach is when like we really started like we called our gauntlet like of our season, where we played Gloucester, Middlesex midweek, and then we're finishing out with Brookdale that weekend. So it's like the number 1 team in the country, like the number 10 team in the country. And then I think at that time Brookdale was like 5. So we knew we were in for what was going to be like our toughest part of the year.
Mhm.
So just coming out like against Gloucester, my goal was literally just win. We lost that first game of the series, and my goal was just like beat them. That's all I wanted. I had a rough outing against them the previous year, and all I wanted to do was just like get back at them for that. And I had their number. I knew if I was going to win one game that season, it was going to be against Gloucester, because I just let it marinate with me the entire summer, entire off season. I knew that I was going to beat them. So I was able to have some success. I got the win against them that next weekend. I took down Brookdale, had another really good outing, and that was just in like a really good confidence boost. I knew I just took down arguably two of the, like the best teams in the country. So I was like, who am I going to play that's better than them the rest of the year? So when I'm going into those games, following, I'm just like, I'm honestly just like, I know I'm going to win. My goal is just to like do it as pretty as possible in a way. Like I'm trying to make it look as good as possible. Like I'm just like trying to strike more guys out, because I know I got through those guys. I'm gonna get through these guys with ease, because they just weren't like as competitive in a way. So it's like another thing with that mindset of like, I just got to a really confident point, and like if you're telling yourself that you're the best, you're gonna beat those guys every single time.
Yeah, bro. I think going what you just said kind of pops in my head of like, bro, I'm playing a different game than you right now. Like, you're trying to beat us. I already beat you, bro. Like, you're not gonna beat me. But it's like I'm gonna make you look like a fool, and I'm gonna beat you when you think you're gonna win. And when you have that confidence, it's like the best. Like, it's like no other feeling when you're, going out every
Yeah,
day, every outing, you're hammering them, or every, you're a hitter, you're going out, you're boom, 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 bomb, bomb, bomb. You're like, bro, no one could top this. And I think like obviously you guys like found like you didn't really ride a wave in a much, which kind of like what you're saying sounds like you rode a wave, but I don't think you did. Like, because obviously you don't want big highs and big lows, but like you found that confidence and you're like, all right, I'm gonna ride that and I'm not gonna let anyone touch it. So like you set your standard, yeah, I'm at the top right now and I'm gonna just ride the top no matter what happens, like in that sense. And I think that's like riding the wave on the best way possible. Like you're the dog, and I'm not gonna let a
yeah,
bad outing hurt me. If it happens, it happens. But I'm just riding this high point, and no one's gonna take me off that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Like it almost got to a point where like I was trying to compete with myself as well. So like it's not like you're having those situations where like like you don't have to be as perfect, but you're still trying to like work on your craft like while you're in season almost.
yeah, it's like I mean, what I think, like, bro, like sometimes pitchers feel like they're on an island, and like some guys like that, and some guys don't. But I just think like you versus you is what is really what it comes down to. Like, what did I do to prepare for this? Like, really, I mean, like I know you're a hard worker, bro. Like you prepared yourself. Like you had the confidence to do it, and that's why you had such a good season. But it's like the you versus you, whether you're in the weight room, in the gym, like with your team, on the mound, like that's what it comes down to. And guys that do it, and some guys can't. And I hate to use the word gamer because like I think anyone can be a gamer if they want to be a gamer, but like some dudes got it and you had it, bro.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so let's hop into the next action. We're gonna after all that talk, we're gonna bring up the fact that this kid pulled down 101 miles per hour. I don't what was it, a week or two ago? When was this?
Yeah, yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. So like right after our fall season, we kind of got into like a little deload period, and then after that, that's where we're like focused on building up our velocity, um, for like the following season. So yeah, so we just got into that velocity phase. We're doing pull downs. My previous PR on a pull down was 93.6 miles per hour. Um, and yeah, so it was a big jump. So then I come into it. My first one's like 97, my second one's 98, and then it was 100, 100, 101, and then four straight hundreds after that. So it was a surreal feeling. It was a insane PR for me. It felt great. But yeah,
Yeah, and I don't wanna I mean, everybody wants to throw one-on-one. Obviously, you gotta be able to throw the strike. You throw the strike and you pull down 101. I wanna talk like What do you think? Like, so you went from 93 to that 101. What do you think made the difference? Was it like something you were doing, the way you were sleeping, the way you were eating, your mindset, the preparation? Like, what do you think helped you jump that 7, 8, 9 miles an hour?
Yeah, so I think it's honestly like a combination of everything.
Mhm.
But like the most important things for me were just like really sticking to mobility and arm care. We've a really good program here at Monmouth, just like making sure like our arms and bodies are healthy. So I think it was just like the mobility and arm care of like getting myself in like new positions that I like wasn't previously able to get into.
Mm.
And just like getting more explosive in the summer and then like the fall, and then just like it's just being in new positions and being able to move quicker and just not really slowing down like as you're letting go of the ball, and that's like really made a difference for me.
So you kind of like found a new realm in yourself that you didn't know that you had, and you were like, "All right, let's ride this," and it obviously worked out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just the entire like idea of pull downs is like trying to build up to like build up your arm strength, but also like find like something more like deeper inside yourself to like find out like what your like potential could be. Not saying like I'm gonna be throwing 101 off the mound, obviously, but like what your arm strength like potential is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know they say, what is it, that it's 3 miles an hour less is what your fastball should be than your pull down, but, like, I mean, hopefully you get up to that. I mean, you're a dude, you're getting drafted if that's you're getting drafted if
Yeah.
that's the case. But, um, yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go back to, like, what we said about, what helped you get to that. But let's get into sleep. I know we're both on our Whoop grind. If people don't know what that is, it's just a sleep wearable when it comes to like your tracks your strain, like how much you're doing, how much you're sleeping, just a lot of factors like in our body. And I think it's like the best thing you can use as an athlete to pretty much like find how your body works the best. So let's talk a little bit about that. I checked the recovery score from last night, and I want to say it was 24. So we got to step it up a little bit there. But yeah, because
Yeah.
because we
Yeah, not good.
I have a group. So anyone listening to this podcast, you should go join the group. We have a Whoop community, pretty much like baseball dudes, that we get to like kind of keeping dudes accountable. I just started it, so definitely want to join that. But let's talk Whoop. How do you like your Whoop?
I love it. I think it was the winter of my sophomore year that I was introduced to it. I don't remember. Oh yeah, you introduced it to me actually.
Referral link
Yeah.
got me a free
Yeah,
month.
shout out you. Yeah, yeah. So Caleb introduced it to me, and then like I fell in love with it right away. Like I had like the free trial of it. And then from that point on I was like, okay, like I gotta have this for the rest of my baseball career. The biggest thing for me is just like it's nice to track my strain and everything like that, but like the sleep is what's huge. Like I thought I was getting good sleep prior to it, and then like when I was able to finally like see like what my sleep score was or like what my performance was, like I'm like actually not sleeping near as well as I thought I was. Uh,
Mhm.
so it really just like it set goals for me. Like I'm always trying to get that like 100% sleep, especially if I'm in season and I know I'm pitching soon. I want to be able to get like as much rest as possible because that's just gonna translate to you feeling so much better.
Yeah, I wanna hit on that because I know, like, it's a huge thing, and I know a lot of guys are like, "I'm sleeping good every night, I'm going to bed at 10, and I'm waking up at, say, 6, I got my 8 hours." But that's not true, bro, like, finally realized and I've had, I wanna say 3, 4 years of data built up on my Whoop. It's like, I'm awake for 50 minutes to an hour in the middle of the night that I don't even know about. So that pretty much disrupts everything that you're doing. And finding like, okay, I slept this much REM sleep tonight and I feel good the next day. And it's within your range of your REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep. So people that don't know while we're talking about this and getting into the weeds, I had this much REM sleep and it made me feel better. And then almost like you can track your tendencies in the app. So it's like I ate 30 minutes before bedtime and I woke up and I felt groggy. And it tells you and it'll track like eventually over time. If you do that, a certain amount of time, it's gonna say this. And then going along with that, like finding out if I go to bed at this time every single night and wake up at this time, I feel the best. And my Whoop score isn't always the same. If I get that hours, it's whether, the temperature in the room it may be, or sleeping in a different bed that affects it. I think there's just like a million things that go into it. And I think with the Whoop, you can utilize and understand those things and kind of like get an edge that other guys don't have. And I think a lot of baseball dudes use it now because it's such a like big tool to like get ahead and be most prepared.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's gonna help you find something that's ideal for you, that like you previously didn't know. Like just like comparing like all your different nights sleep and like what the different like variables are that could be affecting the way you're sleeping, and then like trying to find what's best for you and then just going with that.
Yeah, last week I was on a 7 day or a 6 day streak of great recovery, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see how many days like I'm gonna dial in because like every once in a while that yellow day gets thrown in there, and you're like, bro. So I was like, I'm gonna see how many days I can get green on that 6th day. The next morning I wake up yellow. I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, 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 that'd be
And it,
questioning.
and it just happens sometimes, bro. But yeah, so to get off before we dive, I could talk about the Whoop all day. I love it. But let's go into kind of your recruiting process. I know like let's start from high school or whatever age you want to start at, but like yours is a little unconventional, and I think this is kind of like a motivational story in a sense of like how you got to where you are.
Yeah, so going into high school, didn't really get a lot of playing time. Got like an inning, I think my freshman year on JV. My sophomore year was canceled due to COVID. I think I got like 6 or 7 innings my junior year, and then by senior year, like I finally figured it out. But like at that point, like just wasn't really playing for my high school team. Didn't really have the love for the game that I had like when I was a kid. So I ended up going to trade school in high school. I was gonna be an electrician, and then one day my dad decides to tell me that I should follow baseball, and then I was like, okay, yeah, like I'll go through that process, whatever. I didn't really like think I was going to. And then when I started taking it more serious, like my junior, senior year, I was like, okay, like let's do it. So um ended up trying to talk to like one Division 3 school, didn't really work out with that school. And that's when Coach Jaguez found me uh at Northampton. So I ended up going junior college route. And then everything just kind of started to fall into place. Like I was able to have like that decent freshman year where I was getting good innings out of the bullpen, had one start, and then I was really able to like find myself that summer then, like where I just after my freshman year where I just had a lot of motivation. I knew like my goal was to go Division 1, and I didn't want to waste my potential after like wasting it for so many years like in high school, just like not really working all that hard. And then I was able to have a good fall, got in front of the right people. Um and then yeah, ended up coming to Monmouth in my fall and then having my sophomore spring.
Which I hate to say this, which that's legit. Like, and I know your dad, of course, and your dad's like he's big on the social media with baseball and stuff, and he's like a really good dude. And I mean, you almost got to thank him for being like thanks because like you wouldn't be where you were with it. But probably better that Monmouth got you before the sophomore spring because oh boy, I mean, I don't want to go in and be like, oh, you could have gone somewhere better, but like you had a year, bro. So like, and I know you're gonna have a year this year because you're just preparing yourself and you're ready for it. What I mean, I know the competition's gonna be a little different, um, but you're ready, bro. I'm fired up to watch you this spring, and I think for anyone out there that's like questioning, I know like me myself from a really small area and like college baseball isn't a thing, and I kind of had to like learn it on my own, and someone in some way at some point kind of like lead you to the path that like, all right, I want to do this or whatever it may be. And I think it's cool to like know that happened to you. And yeah, so that's a good little story for the people like that don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's like there's a route for everybody. I think college baseball's expanded in such a way that there's a there's a level for everybody to play at. Whether it's junior college, Division 3, Division 2, Division 1, NAIA. There's so many different opportunities that are just it's a great experience playing college baseball. It doesn't matter what level you're at. Love junior college. I love where I'm at now. coaches that have like I've gotten to experience and the players I've gotten to be around. It's just like it's something I don't take for granted at all. It's been like the greatest couple of years of my life, just like getting to experience like all these new things with like just great groups of people.
Yeah, it's awesome when you got people around you that are like-minded, and you do stuff together day in and day out, and you're working towards something, whether that's conference championship, whatever that may be. But it's a fun experience, and I kind of want to get into, well, before this, was Monmouth your only? No, I shouldn't say only, but like, was that your first D1? And you're like, all right, I'm hopping on it.
Yeah, yeah. So Monmouth found me really early, and I coaches were really great to me, like on my visit and getting in touch with me, and they just seemed like a culture that I wanted to be a part of. And just like everything about the campus, the schooling, like it seemed like it would be a great fit, and it just like it ended up being perfect. So yeah, it was really good timing. Exactly like I was looking to commit before the season, they found me, and then everything worked out really well.
Sweet. So now we're gonna get into a little Northampton talk, into the JUCO route. A little bit about JUCO. It's a different experience. It's a little bit harder. It's not as glamorous, but you meet some, like, I mean, as we're sitting on the phone right now, you meet some sick people that you'll know for the rest of your life. And like at that level, you find like that's the biggest thing I miss about like Northampton is like, bro, we had guys like, even to say a couple, like Ryan Santangelo, Jeff Sabater, I'm terrible for not naming other guys. Brody Hinkle, just dudes, love that guy. Just
Yeah.
dudes that like want it, and like you grind together. You're like, all right, I'm doing this, like we're grinding together, and the grind's so much fun, bro. When you're younger, like those freshman, sophomore years, it was so much fun. But I guess I want to kind of ask you, like, how'd you like Northampton? Obviously, like we were a very good program the whole time. 32. My freshman year, we were 37 and something, 12. Wanted to be the first team to hit 40 wins. We were like, we didn't. Second year, we don't do it, and then I leave, and you guys are 44 and 10. So that kind of sucks. But we just there's a good winning culture there. So I think talk a little bit about that in your experience.
Yeah, yeah. I think the culture of a program all comes down to who the head coach is a person and as a coach. And Coach Yags was just like great from the beginning. He kept everything in check, um, and just like really allowed us to like grow as individuals and also as a team. Just giving us like the right motivation tools that we needed, and then just the guys that were brought in. Like it seemed like a perfect blend every single year. We're like you're with guys that like everybody wants it. Like you're not like having to drag someone to the weight room with you. Like if you go in there at 9 o'clock in the morning, you know there's gonna be 10 other guys in there grinding out. And no matter what, like if you want to get working, someone's gonna want to do that with
Mhm.
you. And I think that's like just a great part about JUCO. Like the common goal is to want to get out and get to a better school, whether it was like they didn't have the academics, they didn't have the baseball ability that they do now. They want to be able to get to like that better school that they couldn't get out of high school. Um, it's just that common goal that drives everyone to work harder. And then when you see other people around you working hard, it's gonna make you work even harder. So it's like it's something in the air of being at a JUCO. Like you're just way more motivated and you're just like you're looking to reach your goals.
Yeah, I think you said all that perfectly, and I think Coach Yag was our head coach in Northampton was so good at that. Like he knew how to manage us like into the way where like he would be hard on us because he wanted us to be better, and he would always say like, "I'm doing this for you to be a better man." And in the time we're all like, I don't like we're here to play baseball, but it really just correlates, dude, to like playing the game. And he was so good at like kind of guiding us in the right direction, even though sometimes we didn't think that was the right direction. And he was just super good. I will say, best guy to ever manage a pitching staff. I don't know. I'll say that. I don't know. I've seen a lot of pitching coaches, and he was our head coach and pitching coach. Like he would know when to pull guys and know when not to pull guys for the most part. And I was like, in hindsight, thinking back, he was really good at that in the most for the most part. So, but yeah, Coach Yags is just really good with
Yeah.
it, dude. And like at the time, so there was some days where it was like you not mad at Coach, but it's like it's a grind, dude. But he really understands it for us, and he thinks of the bigger picture as well.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of things where you're like in that moment, you're like, why are we doing this? And then you realize whether it's like a week later, a month later, or even like this past year, I'm like, wow, like I understand like why he was doing it this way now. Cause it's just like he's trying to build a man out of you. Like you go into high school or go into JUCO out of high school, you think you know everything. You don't. And he's had that experience where he's seen so many guys through the program because it's only there for 2 years. You're getting what, 20
Hmm.
new guys each year. Um, and like he's seen a lot, and just like that's just another great thing about JUCO. They have so much experience with like so many different people that they're able to tend to your needs differently than like some other coaches at a 4 year are able to.
Yeah, I mean, like my freshman year, bro, we were a full new house my freshman year. I thought I was gonna get cut, bro. I'm like, there's 70 guys here. It might have not been 70, but there was a lot, and I was like, am I cut out for all this, bro? Thankfully I was. But yeah, just I love Northampton, bro. Like it was a great experience. And Coach X, I mean, it just came out. I think they're the fifth winningest JUCO program in the country. That could be wrong, but I just saw something that came out is like
Yeah, I think it was
it was
close
in the
to that.
last 5 years or something along those lines, like best record in the last 5 years. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, so let's get into, we're talking your goals, short term, long term. I don't know if you thought of these prior, but like if you have any, what that may be, whether it could be baseball, it could be life, just short, long term.
Yeah, yeah, short term, mostly just like just trying to have a good season this year, trying to, obviously when you're coming out of JUCO and going to a 4 year school, you got to adjust very quickly. They're bringing you in because they know you have that experience, so you don't have like a lot of time to just like adjust. You just gotta be ready to go. So I think like the biggest thing for me is like coming into the season, just trying to be like a good contributing pitcher to my team. Like, not exactly having a role identified, but like just knowing that when I go in, I'm like my goal is to go in and get outs and like help the team win. And then another short term thing is just like trying to see like the team make the playoffs. Like playoff baseball is such a great experience. Like some of like the greatest like memories I have are just like playing baseball in the playoffs and just like it's like win or go home, and it just like drives you to like compete at that next level that you didn't know if you had or not. So I think that's like another short term goal. And then long term is just the goal is to get drafted at the end of the day. Obviously we'll see what happens, but that's the long term
I
goal.
love that, bro. Yeah, good luck to you this season, and you're gonna get drafted 100%. Just got to keep grinding. I believe that 100%, and I really hope you do.
Yep.
We need to see 95 this spring. I need to see that out of you. And but yeah, bro, I really appreciate you coming on. This was a good talk with everything that we whether it was, pitching to mindset to JUCO days to lifting. So I think, and the whoop, of course, can't forget that. But I think this was a great talk, bro. So I
Yeah,
really appreciate you hopping on.
absolutely. I appreciate you. Great time.